Well, let's move to the economy in the US because, like many parts of the Western world, it's been affected by the Ukraine, but it's struggling.
Yeah, right now you're looking at the American economy is dealing with inflation and a decelerating growth, like if not perhaps worse than what we had in the 1970s. So we call it stagflation, stagnation with inflation for obvious reasons. This is the number one issue in American politics right now in survey after survey after survey. The Biden administration has with their so-called Inflation Reduction Act, which is just basically them government spending money on special interests and Green New Deal ideas, if you want to call it that, has nothing to do with inflation. It's just merely packaging because they realize the political volatility of this issue as we go into the midterms. But the Federal Reserve raised the American interest rates by another 3/4 of a point this week. You're looking at American CEOs and central bankers also saying that inflation is still not under control and there's going to be more bad medicine needed. So you're looking at a recession, a protracted recession. Technically, we're in a recession right now, but you're looking at a painful recession going into 2023.
Finally, Donald Trump, as we see this story kick down the road after the raids, are we seeing a less likely chance of him running for the presidency again?
No, it's hard to put odds on that. I mean, it's like how many years of Donald Trump investigations and the walls are closing in stories are we going to have to sit through here? We had 2 years of Mueller and Russiagate. That got debunked, and nobody in the media took responsibility for getting that story wrong. In fact, they gave each other awards for their reporting and not a nary a word when that whole story imploded. You have the New York Attorney General right now suing Trump and his family civilly, not criminally. And that Attorney General, a woman named Letitia James, her whole campaign for Attorney General was based on getting one man, Donald Trump. And she's shown no interest in the crime wave hitting New York. So, after a while, the American public has kind of tuned out these Donald Trump litigation, the walls are closing in on him stories, because they've just, for a man that's been in public life for, 25 years, to have never been scratched by any of these, it's just getting a little old, especially when people are having a hard time feeding their families.
But do we, just collectively across both sides of government, do we want to start seeing some really strong, powerful, younger voices in and around US politics?
Well, that's a different question, right? And so that's a question the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are going to have to confront. The Democrats have the Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, both in their 80s. You have Biden, who's already started decomposing, for goodness sake, can't even talk. And so the Democrats are certainly in need of a youth movement. Republicans, we've had Donald Trump, who's now in his 70s also, but you do have Ron DeSantis of Florida, who's in his early 40s. So pretty soon you're going to see, by necessity, a youth quake in both parties. But the Republicans at least have Ron DeSantis waiting in the wings. For the Democrats, it's not sure what they have.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Ron DeSantis. I think he's on the rise and rise. Good on you, John. Love talking to you. Have a great day.
You too.